Welcome back sa subject natin, income taxation. So this is our fourth discussion video. Although nasa chapter 2 pa rin tayo. So kung na-miss nyo yung previous discussion, pakibalikan lang dun sa ating Google Classroom. Doon naka-upload sila. So yung chapter 1, ganun din hinati ko, parang chapter 2 din, part 1 and part 2, kasi baka masyadong mahaba, so yung inyong retention affected, no? So ganun din dito sa chapter 2, katatapos lang natin yung part 1, so ngayon I am doing yung chapter 2 part 2, yung tax laws and its administration. Ito yung concluding part ng chapter. So after nito, syempre magkakaroon muna tayo ng evaluation bago tayo mag-proceed sa next topic. So please prepare. It is recorded na. So ako pa rin si Romualdo Fernandez Credo, saying that please prepare your pen and paper for your notes. So if you are ready, then we shall start. So let's proceed to the next slide. Distinction of taxes with similar items. So let us distinguish the tax from other items. So ang first is we will differentiate yung tax against revenue. So tax refers to the amount imposed by the government for public purpose, as stated dun sa definition ng tax, diba? Sa ating previous video, dinefine natin ang tax, at based sa kanyang definition, yun nga, it is tax law is imposed to generate revenue for the government para sa public purpose, no? On the other hand, revenue refers to all income collection of the government, which include taxes, tariff, licenses, toll, penalties, and other. So, meaning, if we are going to compare yung revenue sa tax, yung revenue is broader. It is broader, mas malawak yung revenue kasi yung revenue kasama doon yung tax. So, yung income ng government, hindi lang tax. Ano pa yung other than tax? They have license, they have toll fees, yung mga penalties na ini-impose, yung mga licenses, etc., etc. In addition, yung government din natin, may mga nare-receive siyang grants and aids galing sa mga foreign countries at saka international organizations, mga charitable institutions na of a worldwide scale. Mayroon ding mga local companies na nagbibigay ng funds sa governments. Ang tawag nila doon ay grants and aid. So kasama yan sa fund ng government. Minsan nagbibenta din sila ng properties para maka-generate ng fund. So again, let's summarize. Revenue is broader compared sa tax kasi yung revenue kasama, nakapaloob siya. Yung revenue nakapaloob doon yung tax, rather. So isang part lang ng isang portion lang ng revenue ng government, yung tax. Although, siya siguro yung pinakamalaki. For example, kung imagine mo yung pie graph, i-graph mo yung sa pie graph yung mga sources of fundings ng government. So, pinakamalawak doon ang cover ng tax. Tax versus license fee. Tax has a broader subject than license. Tax emanates from taxation power and is imposed upon any object such as person, properties, or privileges to raise revenue. While yung license fee, it emanates from the police power and is imposed to regulate the exercise of a privilege such as commencement of a business or profession. So please take note, ang difference daw ng tax at saka license, yung tax this time is broader compared sa license. And then, nagkaiba sila dun sa pinanggalingang power ng government. Of course, yung tax nag-emanate dun sa power ng government to tax, while yung license fee, kaya sila nagbibigay ng license fee permit, dahil gusto nilang i-regulate yung certain activity, no? Kaya yun ay exercise naman siya ng police power. So hindi ka makapag-start ng business kung wala kang permit. So kailangan kang kumuha ng permit. Hindi ka makapag-practice ng profession kung wala kang permit. So dapat kumuha ng permit. Tax versus toll. Tax is a levy of government. Hence, it is a demand of sovereignty. Toll, on the other hand, is a charge for the use of others' property. So therefore, it is a demand of ownership. So ang difference nila, since yung tax, it is a levy from the government, so government ang nagdi-demand, so it is a demand of sovereignty. While yung toll fee, on the other hand, it is a charge for the use of others' property. Kaya, kung property yon, demand of ownership. So, naniningil siya kasi siya yung may-ari ng property. While yung tax, naniningil siya kasi siya ay government. At may karapatan siyang maningil ng tax. So sa toll, may karapatan din siya kasi for example, kinonstruct niya yung highway. Siya yung nag-improve ng area. Siya ang naglagay ng semento. Siya ang naglagay ng other facilities doon. So, since siya ang nag-spend, siya ang may-ari nun. So, kaya pwede siyang mag-impose pala ng fee pag ginamit mo yung kanyang kalsada. For example, yung kalsada, pinaka-common example natin. Pero pwede rin halimbawa sa CR, public CR. Mayroon din pinapractice din yun eh. Public CR, 'di ba? Kapag inassign yung public CR sa individual, siyang mag-take care ng CR na yon, in return, ang kapalit, maniningil yung nagpo-control dun sa CR. Parang ganun din. So, parang ganun yung concept ng toll fee. Diba? Gagawa silang kalsada. Tapos, kasi nga, minsan yung government, sa dami ng kanyang project, hindi na rin niya ma-finance lahat. So, kung mayroong mag-propose na ganun, gagawa ng kalsada, tapos ang kapalit maniningil ng fee, ina-allow ng government. Kaya mayroon tayong mga expressway kung kailangan mo magbayad ng toll. Tax versus debt. Tax arises from tax law. So, walang tax pag walang pinapasang batas. So, dapat may ipapasang batas bago magkaroon ng tax. Debt arises from contract. So, ganun din. Kung walang kontrata, walang utang. So, dapat magkaroon kayo ng agreement, contract, bago magkaroon ng liability. Note, non-payment of tax leads to imprisonment, but non-payment of debt does not lead to imprisonment. So, pag hindi mo raw binayaran yung tax, ikukulong ka ng tax evasion. Kapag ikaw ay unlawfully in-evade mo yung tax liability, it is illegal. Well, kapag hindi mo binayaran yung utang, hindi ka pa naman makukulong agad. Hindi naman agad-agad. Pero pag may notice na, may due process na, still hindi mo pa rin binayaran, pwede ka na daw makulong sa stapa. Debt can be set off, but tax is not. So, pwede i-offset. Halimbawa, may utang kang may kinuha siyang pera, tapos may kinuha din siya sa yung goods. So, pwede mo nang i-offset yon. Pero sa tax, hindi mo pwedeng gawin. Kasi hindi pwedeng i-offset ang tax. Debt can be paid in kind. So, yung utang mo, pwede mong bayaran ng properties, ng mga goods, ng mga products mo. Pero yung tax, hindi. Kasi, sabi nga natin doon sa previous discussion natin, it is generally payable in tax versus special assessment. Tax is an amount imposed upon a person, properties, or privileges. So, ang tax daw ay kinokolekta or ini-impose sa mga taxpayer. Yun ang magiging mga taxpayers natin o kaya yung mga properties saka yung mga rights ng taxpayers natin. So, at mga rights and privileges nila. While yung special assessment is levied by the government to land because of public improvement. So, yung special assessment lang ay para lang sa mga lupa na nag-increase daw kasi yung value ng land dahil mayroong improvement, public improvement na ginawa ang government doon sa property or malapit doon sa iyong property. So, nag-benefit ka kasi doon sa pag-increase ng value ng property mo, yumaman ka kasi nadagdagan yung value niya. So, dapat magbigay ka ng share sa government. For example, ang pinaka-common example niyan is yung improvement, is yung kalsada. Dati yung property mo, walang kalsada, so mura lang siya. Hindi mo maibenta, walang gustong bumili. Pa nga, kasi nga, nasa remote area siya. Pero nung ginawa na for example, ng highway, papunta dun sa property nyo, accessible na siya, and then marami ng establishment na tinayo, malapit doon, so natural, marami nang magkaka-interest sa property mo, tataas na yung kanyang value. For that reason, dapat magbayad ka daw ng special assessment. So, yung special assessment is levied only on the land kasi mayroon silang improvement na ginawa. So, yung special assessment, nalilito yung iba, sinasabi nila is a tax, pero hindi siya tax daw, according sa theories. Tax versus tariff. Tax is broader than tariff. Tax is an amount imposed upon a person, privileges, transaction, or property. While ang tariff is the amount imposed on imported commodities. So, malinaw, ang tariff ay para lang sa mga imported goods. So, pag mag-import ka ng goods, is expected na mayroong charge ang government. So, ang tawag doon is tariff. Although meron ng GATT, General Agreement of Tariff and Trade, no? Na yung ibang goods na galing sa abroad, hindi na siya i-imposean ng tariff o ng mataas na tariff. Bawasan, tanggalin yung tariff, depende sa goods. Dahil sa free trade, no? Dahil sa free trade. Yun ang ng GATT. Kaya nga lang, ang mangyayari doon is nagsasuffer na yung ating mga local producers. So, ang nangyari, mas mura na yung mga imported goods dahil sa General Agreement on Tariff and Trade kasi tinanggal na yung tariff ng mga ibang imported goods. Tax versus penalty. Tax is an amount imposed for the support of the government, while penalty is an amount imposed to discourage an act. So, ini-impose ang tax kasi kailangan ng government ng fund para i-support yung kanyang activities, yung kanyang project, kanyang maintenance na kanyang property, yung kanyang expenses, kailangan. Kaya, nag-impose sila ng tax. So, normally, malaki yung amount na ini-impose sa tax. While yung penalty naman is minimal lang naman. Ini-impose yung penalty basically to impose compliance, no? Para sundin yung mga rules, 'di ba? Pag hindi ka nag-submit ng on time, may penalty. Kung hindi mo ginawa to, may penalty. So, it is imposed para to encourage compliance. Parang gano'n. Para wag silang mag-violate ng rule. Parang gano'n. Kasi nga, mayroong penalty. Ipa-penalize sila. Type of tax system. According to imposition. So, we have progressive, proportional, and regressive. So, alam niyo na yung progressive, no? Ano yung progressive? It is yung type ng tax rate na as yung tax base increases, yung tax rate will also increase, no? Tumataas yung income mo, tataas din yung rates ng tax mo. So, tataas yung amount din. Proportional, it is yung ini-impose yan on a fixed rate basis. For example, yan yung VAT, 12%. So, 12%. Yung rate is fixed, pero yung amount, hindi. Depende sa value ng goods na binili. So, proportional ang tawag doon. Kapag fixed rate siya, proportional ang tax. Regressive naman is opposite of progressive. Baliktad. Pag tumataas yung income bracket, tumataas yung income mo, bumababa yung tax rate. Parang ganon. So, hindi pa naman ini-implement currently sa Philippines yung regressive. Kasi nga, meron tayong ability to pay duty. Pag mas marami kang kita, mas malaki yung tax. Hindi yan susundin ng regressive. Kasi nga, pag dumadami yung kita mo sa regressive, bababa yung iyong tax rate. Type of tax system according to impact. So, we have progressive and regressive. So, alam nyo na ibig sabihin ng progressive and regressive. Ulitin natin. Diba? Progressive, parang linear, no? Parang linear, diba? ang relationship ng revenue saka ng rate. Tumataas yung income mo, tataas din yung tax rate. Therefore, tataas din yung babayaran mo. Yung regressive, opposite direction sila. Tumataas yung income mo, bumababa yung rate. Siyempre, bababa din. Pag bumaba yung rate, ano mangyayari? Not necessarily nabababa din yung tax, no? Kasi depende pa rin yun sa dalawang factor, dun sa amount ng income at saka sa rate. Tax collection system. So, currently, ang ating government ay ini-impose yung withholding tax system. Kasi kailangan ng government ng pera. So, withholding tax system. Ano nga ba yung withholding tax system? The payer of the income withholds or deduct the tax on the income before releasing the same to the payee and remits the same to the government. So, for example, ikaw yung babayaran. So, yung marireceive mong pera, hindi na buo. Kasi nga withholding system, no? Ibabawas na nung magbabayad sa'yo. Yung income mo, hindi mo na marireceive ng buo kasi ibabawas na ng company na pinagtatrabahuan mo. For example, yung tax. At i-remit niya sa BIR. Yun na. Yung example number 1 dyan is withholding tax compensation. Yun yung sinabi ko kanina. Yung company na pinagtatrabahuan mo, ibabawas na niya yung tax doon sa sweldo mo. Expanded withholding tax system, yung mga security services, rentals, gano'n din. Bago mo ma-receive yung, alam mo, nagpaparenta ka, yung renta, bawas na din. Hindi mo na marireceive na buo. So, i-remit na rin nung nagre-rent. Final withholding tax. Withholding tax on government payment. So, ganun din yun. Ibabawas na rin yung withholding tax on government transaction. So, again, withholding tax system. Binabawas na in advance yung tax dun sa amount ng revenue. Kasi kailangan ng government ng pera. Number 2, sa tax collection system natin, voluntary compliance system or tinatawag din niyang self-assessment. The taxpayer himself determines his income, reports the same through income tax returns, and pays the tax to the government. So, ganun ang mangyayari. So, ikaw, i-determine mo kung magkano yung income mo, magkano yung expense mo. So, self-assessment ang tawag doon. Kasi ikaw mag-compute ng tax mo, tapos yung na-compute mong tax mo, babayaran mo sa gobyerno. Kaya nga lang, ang problema kasi, yung iba hindi marunong mag-compute. Hindi alam kung ano ilalagay sa revenue, hindi alam kung ano ilalagay sa expenses, di ba? Anyway, pag ganun naman, siyempre papasok dyan yung mga professional. Mga lawyers and accountants, sila usually yung nagpre-prepare ng tax return. Self-assessment. Number 3, assessment of or enforcement system. The government identifies non-compliant taxpayer, assess the tax due and penalties, enforce collection by coercive means, such as summary proceedings or judicial proceedings. So, after ng self-assessment, kung hindi ka nag-comply, so pag hindi ka nag-comply, so may action na gagawin yung BIR. So, i-assess na nila kung ano yung tax liability mo for failure to comply, kasama na yung penalties, and of course, i-enforce na ng BIR. Principle of a sound tax system. So ano ba ibig sabihin ng system mo na? Ang system mo na. Parang system is a set of interrelated activities, no, na may various components. Diba? Parang for example, yung digestive system natin, 'di ba? May iba-ibang parts diyan na nag-work together para ma-achieve yung one purpose. Diba? Diba yung pag-digest ng food. Diba? From the mouth, pababa. Yung digestive system natin. So parang ganun. Halimbawa, sound system. 'Di ba? Marami ding components 'yun, ng sound system. Pero ang main objective nila is pag nagsama-sama sila para makaproduce ng sound. So ganun din yung ating tax. It is a system, 'di ba? It is a system in place para mag-collect ng tax para i-support yung government need, no? So pag sinabi nating sound tax system, ano ibig sabihin? It is a properly working tax system. So let us examine, no? Let us examine kung it is good na ba yung ating tax system. Good na ba ang ating tax system? What do you think? Well, sige, tignan natin kung tama yung sagot nyo. So, isa-isayin natin yung criteria ng principles of a sound tax system. So, first is fiscal adequacy. Ano ibig sabihin ng fiscal adequacy? The sources of government funds must be sufficient to cover government costs. The government must not incur a deficit. So, wala na bang deficit ang government? Parang meron pa rin, no? Meron pa rin. So, naririnig niyo pag nagdi-deliberate sa budget, sabi nila, mas marami pa rin yung expenses ng government compared sa kanyang collection. So, medyo nagdi-deficit pa. So, on that part, parang hindi pa good ang ating sound, ang ating tax system. So, hindi pa siya masyadong sound. Number 2, theoretical justice. Ano naman yung theoretical justice? Yung second principle. Suggests that taxation should consider the taxpayer's ability to exercise of taxation should not be oppressive, unjust, and confiscatory. So, from that term justice, no? So, syempre, hindi dapat maningil ng sobra-sobra dun sa taxpayer. Dapat kung ano lang yung kaya niyang bayaran. So, nakabase pa rin siya sa ating ability to pay. Anyway, alam nyo na ang hindi sabihin ng ability to pay theory, di ba? So, naka-align siya sa theoretical justice. It also suggests that the exercise of taxation should not be oppressive. So, hindi naman masyadong forceful to the extent na mababiolate pa yung right ng taxpayer. Diba? Kukunan na nga siya ng pera tapos mababiolate pa yung right niya. So magkakaroon ng injustice dahil sa pagkuha ng kanyang property without due process. So dapat mayroong due process pa rin. Number 3, administrative feasibility. The tax law should be capable of efficient and effective administration to encourage compliance. So sa administrative part ng taxation, sa pag-assess at pag-collect ng tax, para ma-encourage ang compliance, it should be comfortable na rin dun sa part ng taxpayer, no? Siyempre, paano sila magko-comply kung mahihirapan pa sila, di ba? Diba? Kung papahirapan mo pa sila, Magbabigay na nga sila ng pera, di ba? Hindi sila magko-comply na lang. Diba? So pero kung madali lang, very comfortable at very ano sa kanila, very convenient sa kanila, syempre, natural, mas maraming mag-comply. Tax administration. So, sino ba ang nag-manage ng ating tax system? So, it is entrusted sa, syempre, Bureau of Internal Revenue. Sila yung lead agency para sa taxes. No? Of course, yung BIR is under the umbrella of Department of Finance. Chief officials of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. So, ito yung composition ng chief official ng Bureau of Internal Revenue. So, mayroon dapat isang commissioner and 4 deputy commissioner. So, saan i-assign yung 4 na deputy commissioner? Ito, sa baba. Yung isang deputy commissioner ay sa operation at yung isa ay sa legal, yung isa ay sa information system at yung isa ay sa resource management, sa human resource o sa resource management, hindi lang sa human, sa resources ng BIR. So marami yun. So 4 na deputy commissioner. So yun yung composition ng 4. So 5 sila lahat. Powers of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. So ano nga ba yung kapangyarihan ng ahensya na create para i-administer ang ating tax system? The Bureau of Internal Revenue. So una, assessment and collection of taxes. So sila ang may kapangyarihan sa assessment, pag-determine ng amount ng tax. And pagkuha ng pera, collection, sa mga taxpayer. Enforcement of all forfeitures. So pag hindi ka nagbayad ng tax, ipo-forfeit yung iyong property. Kukunin na yung iyong property. Hindi lang yun. Hindi lang kukunin yung iyong property. Mag-impose pa na sila ng fines and penalty and judgment in all cases. So sila din ang mag-decide. Number 3, giving effect to and administering the supervisory and police power conferred to it by National Internal Revenue Code and Tax Law. O sila daw ang magsusupervise at mag-administer sa ating sa tax as yung responsibility was given by the National Internal Revenue Codes and yung other na mga tax laws na inimpose. Number 4, assignment of internal revenue officers and other employees to other duties. Yun. So, pwede silang mag-assign, of course, ng mga revenue officers, di ba? Sila mag-assignment or reassign, di ba? Siyempre, sa manpower. Siyempre, talagang power nila yan. Yung mga workers nila, i-assign nila. Mga internal revenue officers, sila yung mga assigned sa mga taxes, sa mga businesses. So, pwede silang i-assign kung saan-saan. Number 5, provision and distribution to proper officials of form, receipts, etc. So, nagdi-distribute sila ng form. Okay, very, self-explanatory. Issuance of receipts and clearances. O yan. So, hindi basta-basta magkakaroon ng resibo. It should be approved by BIR. May requirements ang BIR. Kailangang ma-follow, no? So, bago ka magpagawa ng resibo, kailangan i-consult mo sa BIR. Ipa-approve mo, rather, sa BIR. And clearances. Oo. So, every year, usually at the end of the year, i-issue sila ng certificate, tax compliance certificate kung nabayaran mo lahat, di ba? Ayun, tax compliance certificate. So, kung nagbayad ka regularly or religiously, so may issuean ka ng tax compliance certificate. Number 7, submission of annual reports, pertinent information to Congress, and report to Congressional Oversight Committee in matters of taxation. So, being sila ang in charge sa taxes, pwede silang i-require ng Congress, pag kailangan ng Congress ng data, mag-submit sila ng report doon sa committee ng Congress na of course, may kinalaman sa mga taxes. Powers of the Commissioner of Internal Revenue. Number 1 is to interpret the provision of National Internal Revenue Code subject to the review of the Secretary of Finance. So, ganyan ka-powerful yung Commissioner ng Internal Revenue. Diba? Although under siya ng Department of Finance, siya ang may mag-interpret ng mga provision ng Internal Revenue Code. To decide, number 2, to decide tax cases subject to the exclusive appellate jurisdiction of the the Court of Tax Appeal. So, siya rin magdi-decide sa mga tax cases. Number 3, to obtain information and to summon, examine, and take testimony of person effects tax collection. Yan. So, may power siya dyan. Pwede niyang ipatawag, kumuha ng information, and examine yung mga documents. Pwede siyang mag-take ng testimony para lang may effect yung collection. So, may power ng revenue yan, ng Internal Revenue Commissioner. To make assessment and prescribe additional requirement for tax administration. So, pwede rin siyang mag-assess, and kung tingin niya is kulang, pwede siyang mag-propose ng another requirements. Ganun. So, magkakaroon ng evaluation and feedback din. So, pag kailangan pa ng requirements sa additional requirements sa current system, so pwede siyang mag-require. Still, on the powers of Commissioner of Internal Revenue, number 5, to examine the tax return and to determine the tax due. So, pwede niyang i-check yung sinabmit ng mga taxpayer na tax return. At titignan niya kung tama yung tax due. To conduct inventory taking or surveillance. So, ayun. So, halimbawa, yung mga properties mo, so pwede nilang i-inventory para mapatunayan kung hindi mo nga kayang magbayad ng tax or kulang nga yung binayaran mong tax. So, pwede nilang inventory yung property mo. Pag sinabing inventory of property, bibilangin yung mga properties mo. Or pwede silang mag-conduct ng surveillance. Pwede silang surveillance. So, magkakaroon ng investigation. Number 7, to prescribe presumptive gross sales and receipts for tax payer. So, pwede silang may isi-set sila na presumptive gross sales amount. Parang anong tawag mo doon? Parang mga minimum or mga ceiling, pwede silang mag-set ng gano'n. Prescribed gross sales amount. So, ito yung yung ideal, parang gano'n. Based doon sa case mo. To terminate tax period. So, yun. Sila lang ang may karapatan na mag-terminate siya lang ang may karapatan na mag-terminate ng tax period. So, for example, nag-close yung business mo, ipa-terminate mo yung period para hindi ka nila sisingilin ng tax for the entire year, no? O kaya nagbago ka ng pwede nilang i-approve 'yon ng accounting period, from calendar to fiscal. So madi-disrupt yung accounting year. So pwede mong ipa-terminate muna yung dati bago ka ng bago para malinaw sa BIR. Number 9, to prescribe real property tax values. So, pwede rin silang mag-set kung magkano yung mga values nagsiset din sila pala ng values ng mga real properties. Number 10, to compromise tax liability. Kung hindi talaga capable, hindi talaga kayang bayaran ng taxpayer yung kanyang tax na na-assess kanya, pwedeng magkaroon ng compromise naman. 11, to inquire into bank deposit. So, pag hindi mo ka nakabayad ng tax at sasabihin mo wala kang pera, pwede silang mag-investigate, pwede silang pumunta sa bank, titignan kung meron kang cash doon sa kanila sa mga bank. Number 12, to accredit and register tax agent. So yung mga gumagawa ng tax return and other BIR requirements, hindi basta-basta. So kailangan accredited at saka registered sa BIR. Magpa-accredit sila o mag-apply sila as tax agent sa BIR. Number 13, to refund or to credit internal revenue taxes. So, yan yung option kapag meron kang overpayment ng tax. Sumobra yung babayaran mo sa tax. So, pwedeng refund. Refund, ibig sabihin kukunin mong pera. Credit internal revenue taxes. Credit, ibig sabihin tax credit. Ibabawas sa iyong other taxes or sa mga future taxes mo. So, mas preferred nung BIR yung credit, tax credit, kaysa yung cash refund. Dinidiscourage nila yung cash refund. Number 14, to rebate or to cancel tax liability. Siyempre, kasama sa power nila yan. Nung bawasan, rebate, magbigay ng discount o babaan yung tax liability. Or kung meritorious naman, yung may merit naman yung tiniklaim mo, pwede nilang i-cancel yung iyong tax liability. Number 15, to prescribe additional procedure. Kapag tingin nila kulang pa, magdadagdag sila ng procedure or requirement or documentary stamp. So, pwede silang mag-require ng documentary stamp. By the way, nagre-require na pala ang BIR na lahat ng document dapat mayroong doc stamp para mas maging valid yung instrument. Number 16, to delegate his power to any subordinate officer. Siyempre, di ba? Maraming trabaho yung commissioner, being the head of the agency. So, marami siyang inaalala. So, minsan, pwede na rin niyang i-delegate yung ibang powers niya sa mga ibang officer. So, that concludes yung ating chapter 2. Thank you very much. So, uulitin ko lang. After nito, I will give you few days to prepare para sa quiz, recorded quiz or assessment. So, I will announce kung kailan i-schedule ko na lang at mag-a-appear na lang siya sa ating Google Classroom. So, of course, theoretical type. So, ang coverage ay Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. So, paki-review na yung Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. So, that's it. Maraming salamat. It is from Waldo Fernandez. God